I am going to listen to every minute of it at regular speed. I'm not even going to speed it up. And if you are in sports media, this is a mandatory listen. Mandatory. You can't teach modern literature, be like, Infinite Jest, haven't read it. Well, it's kind of like the cornerstone of it. You're military general, Art of War, haven't gotten to it. You're a music producer or music critic, Abbey Road, haven't listened to it, haven't gotten around to it. No. If you talk about sports and Aaron Rodgers is the MVP and did a 2-hour and 36-minute podcast on his different journeys that he's taken, you have to listen to it. And I'll listen to 10 minutes. No, it is a professional responsibility. To get you started, I outlined the 3 things I'm going to listen to first because I've only listened to, it feels like a book, one of these chapters. And granted, Nick, there is a lot of, let's say, big, your aunt who got you crystals for Christmas because it will help you with your focus energy throughout the pod. You got to get through that. Yeah. There's things like, quotes like, the host got usurped by his own energy. You got to get through that. But Broussard, here are the 3 for you to start, unless you want to listen to it chronologically. In bronze, ancient Greece, holistic medicine and miracles. That's at 2652. The silver medal, at 1 hour and 8 minutes. You'll get to this one, bro. The depth of friendship and the warrior poet mentality. And number 1, this is what I started with, the gold. Ayahuasca night 1 with the dragon of the jungle. What more do you want from your MVP? We're talking about the dragon of the jungle. So yes, you have to listen to it. And I'm going to end my soliloquy in 1 second, but I am so excited about this podcast. Hold on, give me 1 more second, Broussard.
Clearly.
I am about it. I mean this seriousness. There is a lot of, energy crystal type, drug talk, for lack of a better. You've been around the guy.
Drug talk. Just call it what it is.
It's the whole thing, Yeah, it is what it is. At the same time, there is a vulnerability and an honesty that Aaron Rodgers is sharing with everybody that I think needs to be commended and appreciated, and I find interesting. He's had a combative relationship with the media, and this is really opening up and being super vulnerable, and it's actually very interesting.
All right. Full disclosure. Back in college, before I had a religious conversion, changed my life, I smoked a little something too. And everybody in that room was vulnerable, Wilds. Everybody's opening up. Everybody's feeling the love, all right? And so I don't know if this is all that revelatory or not. I think there's a lot of people saying, because ayahuasca is what, a psychedelic drug? And I don't even know if I said it right, ayahuasca. Yeah. But I'll say this, Coach. I'm going to be quick. Ayahuasca. I think the Packers should make a way for Rodgers to go on one of his ayahuasca trips before the playoffs, particularly before the NFC title game. Because if it really helped him in the regular season, it ain't helping him in the playoffs.
I'm telling you.
All right? The guy that never throws an interception in a regular season game throws them all over the place in the NFC title game. So that's what I'm going to say, Coach. To each his own. If he wants to go do that, fine. But do it before the playoffs, so maybe it'll really help him.
Wow. Yeah, I have so many questions. I didn't know we were pouring our hearts out and admitting what we did in college on the show this morning. I'm gonna pass on that part. I want to know where he said. I can't remember where he said he went, but I don't know if there's any direct flights from Cleveland. So I'm gonna look into that after the show. Are these like? Is this going to be classified as performance-enhancing drugs? Peru, okay, they might fly direct from here. Hey. Like, are these now performance-enhancing drugs? And did he take his wide receiving core there this offseason to get them ready for the season? There's a lot of places that I want to go. I don't know if I'm going to dive into the whole 2.5 hours, and I agree that this is a mandatory listen, but I will listen to you talk about it, Kevin, because I'll be curious to get your takes after you go through the full 2.5 hours.
Tomorrow.
Look, I like a lot about Aaron Rodgers, and I think that a lot of players their whole identity's tied up into football, and that's why it makes it so hard when they eventually leave the game. And there's other guys that say football is what I do, it's not who I am. And I see Aaron as being in that camp, and I applaud anybody that's trying to improve their mental health. I applaud anybody that's trying to look for different ways to figure out how to be a better person. I think that part is great and admirable. I don't love advocating for psychedelic drugs as a MVP of a major sports league, because there are a lot of young people that watch stuff and think, okay, well, it worked for him and his journey. Right. Maybe, as I have my challenges, this could work for me. And I'm not trying to be holier than thou in any sense. It's just I don't love that part of it.
Okay, well, right. I do love that part of it, but first let me explain my tortured journey of my own with Aaron Rodgers. Once upon a time, me and Colin Cowherd used to go to war as him attacking Rodgers and me defending him. And in fact, in the promo clip for this podcast, there are two media voices, Colin attacking Aaron and me defending Aaron. And I'm like, oh, man. Yeah. Well, once upon a time, Aaron, I'm not revealing any secrets here, I don't think, reached out to me privately to thank me for some of my social commentary when this show first launched. So Aaron and I once had what I would consider a good relationship. And then this past year happened, and I was so turned off by the vax stuff and then his Rogan appearances and the political stuff that I'd soured on him. And then Brew burrowed these NFC Championship game stats deep into my brain. And all of a sudden, I was like, you know what? I'm with Cowherd and Brew. This guy doesn't have it when it matters most, all these things.
No, come back.
And I am now here to tell you, I think he's got me back. I'm not a drug guy. I know that'll surprise the audience.
Just because he
got
high?
I gamble, I drink. Listen here. I gamble, I drink, I occasionally smoke. I am not a drug guy. However, I've done some research into this like microdosing stuff and now ayahuasca, and it all sounds very fascinating. And you know what? If it's good enough for Aaron Rodgers, might be good enough for your old buddy Nick Wright. We got a little vacation coming up. I'm not saying I'm going to Peru, but we could. Hey, what? Wilds? What? I'm not supposed. Oh, you're allowed to give me mandatory media
Wilds
training.
is going.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.